Hi everybody, this is Dr. Pritam Hait. Welcome to the course Structure Analysis 2. Today I will discuss cable structure and suspension bridge. First of all, what is cable structure? You have learned that a cable is a member which has no stiffness. When cable is subjected to any compressive load, it cannot resist the bending moment or compressive force. It only can resist the tensile force. So here we will learn the characteristics of cable. What is the characteristics of cable? The character of a cable is like a flexible material. You have seen that load is applied on the cable structure or on a simple cable. It bends very easily. It cannot resist any bending or any compressive force. Only it can resist the tensile force. So a cable is a flexible and it has no stiffness theoretically, but practically it has a negligible amount of stiffness which is not under consideration. Next we will learn analysis of cable subjected to concentrated load. During the childhood you have played using cable, tying the ends of the cable at both the end, and after that you might have applied the load at different position. It might be concentrated load. So under the load it deflected and it gets a structure. Under the load the cable is, this is the initial position of the cable. When you are applying the point load at different position, it gets deflected like that. Okay, now these are the points where you have applied the loads. So this is called funicular structure. Under the point load or under the UDL, when the cable is deflected and gets such kind of shape, these shapes are called funicular shape and these structures are called funicular structure. Next we will learn the cable is subjected to temperature stress. Under the temperature, depending upon the material, the expansion occurred in the cable structure. So we will learn what is the effect of horizontal thrust and what is the bending moment in cable when it is subjected to temperature stress. Then we will learn 3-hinge stiffening girder suspension bridge. So 3-hinge girder suspension bridge is a girder which is subjected to different types of loads such as point load, concentrated load and combination of those, and different other load such as crane load, accidental load, snow load. So many kinds of load may be applied on the structure, and under the loads we will analyze the bridges. In this course we will consider only the point load and uniformly distributed load and on 3-hinge stiffening girder. So let's start. So first you have to know there are two types of structures are there. First one is rigid structure, second one is deformable structure. The structure deform very easily under any load, those are called flexible structure, and the structures those do not get deflected under any load or do not get deflected not much, those are called rigid structure. Under rigid structure examples are beams, columns, slabs, strut, foundation, etc. And under the flexible structure, different types of cables are the best example for flexible structure or deformable structure. So for long span structures, engineers commonly use cable or arch construction due to their efficiency. When a bridge is constructed using cable or arch structure, these are efficient because in the previous class I discussed that the design bending moment is higher in case of beams, because a beam is constructed with no initial bending. So when the beam is constructed with no initial bending and when it is applied load, it easily deflected, okay, like this. So this central deflection we have to resist. So to resist the central deflection, we have to consider the design bending moment. So the design bending moment is higher than, this is for beam, this is for design bending moment for arch section. So the design bending moment in case of beam is higher than design bending moment of arch structure. Therefore, the section should be provided higher in case of beam structure and section is provided lower in case of arch structure. So the arch structure are efficient and they are more safe than beam structure. Therefore, when the long span bridge is constructed, we prefer arch structure than simple bridge structure. Beams, columns, trusses, frames are examples of rigid structures. Unlike rigid structure, deformable structures undergo changes in their shape according to externally applied load. However, it should not be that deformations are still small. So, the examples of rigid structures are beams, columns, truss and frames or foundation, false ceiling. These are the rigid structures, okay. So, just for your knowledge, I would like to mention that there are in structural components, there are two classification is there. First one is structural component, second one is non-structural component. So structural components are those members which are directly related and directly involved with the load, such as beams, columns, slabs, foundation, etc. And those components which are not directly involved with the loads, those are called non-structural component. So what are the non-structural component? Those are false ceiling, railing. These kinds of structures are called non-structural component because false ceiling, railing are not subjected to any main load. So these are provided for support or to resist any kinds of heat effect. So here the rigid structures are beams, columns, trusses and frames, footings, etc. And flexible or deformable structures are cable structure. So we will learn the cable structure behavior in this class. Next, in the following sections, we will analyze the cable subjected to concentrated load and uniformly distributed load. So, before starting the analysis of cable structure, you need to know what is the use of cable structure and what are the purpose of this study. Cables are deformable structure. Cables are generally used in suspension bridges, roofs, cable car systems, transmission tower, aerial tramways, guy wires for high towers. So cables are broadly used in many different cases, like this is a guy wire. When the tower is constructed or chimney is constructed, to support those high chimney or high tower, we connected the tower with the cable to the ground, so that when the load is applied, such as wind load or earthquake load is applied on different position, they cannot displace. with its initial position. We connect the different position of the tower with a guy wire and connect to ground to minimize the deflection or to increase the safety. Similarly, cables are used in tramways. Tramways means these are called ropeway. So ropes are used for in transportation system. In hilly area, you might have seen these kinds of vehicle or transportation system is available. From downhill to uphill, people use these kinds of transportation system. These are called cable car system or ropeways. So it is very easy to transport people or any goods from downhill to uphill. Next, tramways, aerial tramways, guy wires, bridges, roofs. These are the broad use of cable in our daily life. Next, arch and cable. First you have to know what is the definition, then I will discuss the difference between cable and arch. First, cable structure. A cable may be defined as the structure is subjected to pure tension having the funicular shape under the load. A cable or wire is a very flexible in nature. They can carry only axial load. So, a cable structure is defined as a pure tension having funicular shape under the load. When a cable is subjected to different load, so it deflected like that. Okay, so this shape is called funicular shape. So a cable can be defined as a flexible structure deformed under the load and gets under tension, under pure tension, and eventually it gets the funicular shape. Or in the other words, a cable structure may be defined as a structure subjected to pure tension and gets funicular shape under the load. On the other hand, arch structure. An arch is a rigid curved member with significant horizontal thrust which resists vertical load. In case of arch structure, you have seen the arch is subjected to significant amount of horizontal thrust. Due to the significant amount of horizontal thrust, it does not get deflected, it does not move from its initial position, it does not deform much more, and it intacts in its original position. So this is the advantage in case of arch structure. So when the span of the bridge is very high, in those cases we choose in maximum time arch structure. When the length of the bridge is higher or for long span bridge, we choose arch structure in maximum cases, as they are economic and safe with compared to the beam or general bridges. Now, what is the purpose of this study? The primary concern of such kind of structure is to know the shape of the cable under concentrated load or distributed load or whatever the combinations are available on the structure. So, once we know the shape of the cable, we will be able to know what is the length of the cable. When a cable structure subjected to any kinds of load such as UDL load or point load, it gets deflected like that. Okay, so here you need to learn that from this point to this point is called span of the bridge. This is called span of the bridge. The direct or straight line distance is called span of the bridge, and this curvilinear length of the cable is called simple length of the cable. Okay, so we have learned here the length of the bridge and the span of the bridge and length of the cable. So once we able to know what will be the length of the cable under the load such as UDL, point load or combination of those, we will be able to construct the bridge. To know the length of the cable, we need to analyze the structure. There are many types of bridges are available. So these kinds of bridge are commonly used, and apart from this, there are also many kinds of bridges are there. So we are not discussing those types. So in this class, I am going to discuss only these 7 types of bridge structure. Depending upon the structural configuration, bridges are mainly 7 types. First is arch bridge, second is tied bridge, next beam bridge, truss bridge, cantilever bridge, suspension bridge and cable stayed bridge. So let's discuss the bridge structure. First is truss bridge. In case of truss bridge, you might have seen these kinds of bridges are constructed on railway tracks. These are also called foot over bridge, and these kinds of bridges are also constructed in jetty, where the people comes from the boat or ship. So for transportation system from ship to the ground, these kinds of bridges are constructed. These bridges are constructed at river bank to transport the people and the goods, to ship the goods from ship to ground. These bridges are used. These are consist of different types of member. These members are called truss member. Next, arch bridge. Arch bridge are constructed when the length of the bridge is so high. In that case, arch bridge are constructed. First, an arch shaped girder is provided. On that girder, a straight girder is provided. So these kinds of bridges are also constructed on the river or different places. Next is beam bridge. So beam bridge are very commonly used on any road, highway. These kinds of bridges are used using the beam type panel or beam type girder. These are also called continuous bridge. So these are very common in our daily life. Next is tied arch bridge. Tied arch bridge is constructed like that. The arch is provided at the top. Here the arch is provided at the bottom. So here arch is provided at the top, and this girder is provided here, and it is supporting both the end as well as connected with the closely spaced hangers, which is connected with the arch structure. So these structures are called tied arch bridge. Next is suspension bridge. Suspension bridge is constructed using cables, hangers, abutments and different other components. So these are the main component in suspension bridge. It has only 2 abutment. This is called abutment and this is called girder. This is called girder of the bridge. This is called cable of the bridge, and these are called hangers of the bridge. So the girder is not only supported at the end but also connected with the closely spaced hangers, which is also connected with the cable. So the girder is supported with end support and also connected with the hangers, and hangers is transmitting the load to the cable and cable is transmitting the load to the ground and support. So in this way the suspension bridge is constructed. Next, cantilever bridge. This is called cantilever bridge because when it is constructed, this is the origin and this is the end point. This is the end point. So first this part is constructed and it starts from here and eventually it comes in ends here. and also starting from here it comes and ends here. Again this is the origin, it starts and ends here, this is the ground, and it starts from here and ends here, and at this point this span and this span is connected. So this is constructed like a cantilever, that's why it is called cantilever bridge. Next is cable stayed bridge. The cable stayed bridge is like that. At the support the girder is connected and this girder also supported by the cables, directly cables. Here the girder is connected with the closely spaced hangers and hanger is connected with the cable, but here the girder is directly connected with the cable and the supports and the abutments. So this is the difference between cable stayed bridge and suspension bridge. Now we will learn what is the characteristics of cable. Cables only resist tensile force, not compressive force or bending or torsion. When a cable is subjected to bending, it cannot resist. When it is subjected to compressive force, it cannot resist. It only resists the tensile force. So this is the most important character of a cable structure. Next is shape. The shape assumed by a rope or a chain with no stiffness under the action of external loads when hung from two supports is known as funicular structure. That means a cable, when it is subjected to any kinds of load, it gets deflected like that. So these types of shape is called funicular shape and this structure is called funicular structure. So again I am explaining the shape assumed by a rope or a chain with no stiffness. Cable has no stiffness theoretically. Practically it may have some amount of stiffness which is negligible amount. So we won't consider that negligible amount while we will analyze the cable structure. So like a rope or chain with no stiffness under the action of external load when it is subjected to any point load or uniformly distributed load, and when it is hung from two supports is known as funicular structure. So these are the characteristics of cable. Next, this assignment you solve and you submit it within the stipulated time. Next is assumptions of the analysis of cable. So before analyzing the cable, we need some assumption so that we can derive the expression of bending moment, horizontal thrust. So first assumption is concentrated vertical loads on given vertical lines. That means when a cable structure is subjected to any load, the concentrated vertical loads on given vertical lines. That means under the load it will deflect. Next is weight of the cable is neglected. We won't consider the weight of the self weight of the cable in the analysis of the cable structure. Next is cable is flexible, that is resistance to bending is very small. The cable, in the characteristics of cable we had learned that a cable cannot resist bending moment, torsional force or compressive force. It only can resist the tensile force. So it cannot resist the bending moment, or if it resists the bending moment or it has some ability to resist the bending moment which is very negligible, so we are not going to consider those abilities. Next is portions of cable between successive loads can be treated as two force member. That means while we are applying the load, maybe concentrated or UDL, we will consider this is one member, this is another member, this is another member. So separately we will consider the member where the load is separating the member, and this member, under this member, this cable is deformed, and we will consider this is two force member, this is two force member. So that means when the load is applied, that segment will be two force member, this segment also two force member, and this segment also two force member. That means in this member two force will be acting. So here 1, 2, in this member 1, 2 force, in this member also two force is working in this, in all the members. That means portion of the cables between successive loads, between two loads, here one load and here one load, here also one load and here also one load, between successive loads can be treated as two force member. Next, we want to determine the shape of the cable, that is vertical distance from support to each load point or ordinate at each load system. While we are analyzing the cable structure under different types of load, we want to know what will be the length of the cable under this load. We can calculate the shape of the cable. Next is analysis of cable subjected to concentrated load. So this is a cable. AB is a cable structure. It is subjected to different concentrated load at different position. So under this point load, these reactions are coming VA and VB at A point and B point, and also horizontal reaction are also coming. So when a cable structure is subjected to point load, it gets deflected like that, and these kinds of structure is called funicular structure. In previous chapter, in arts, that is in art chapter, we had learned the load diagram. From this load diagram, we will be able to know the shape of the cable, and from shape of the cable we can calculate the length of the cable to construct the bridge. So this is the assignment for you. You solve the problem and show me the solution.